Hey guys, we're back at my desk in Ridgewood, New York, and this is part 2 of the Specialized Torch 1.0 shoe video. So I went ahead and fitted these cleats onto these Specialized shoes, and they're not Shimano brand cleats. They're kind of these weird Origin 8 cleats that I found at my local bike shop, and they kind of come in two pieces, which on the packaging says that, you know, you can take one piece off at a time, and that ensures that your cleat position remains the same when you have to swap them out. So I suppose that would be helpful, but I kind of would rather have gotten the Shimano brand, but they didn't have those in stock. So I got these. Shouldn't be a big deal. I wonder what that does for stiffness. So I kind of took my time in fitting the cleats to these and tried to get them in an identical position to my Physique shoes. You know, I kind of felt for the ball of my foot on the outside of these shoes and kind of gauged, you know, vertically where that would sit, you know, because when I review these shoes, I want the setup to be pretty similar, so I can get an accurate gauge of how they perform. I will say, you know, I measured kind of the cleat positioning, the bolt hole positioning in the last video, but these Specialized shoes, the bolts sit a lot further back on the shoe, which I'm kind of surprised, because when I see bike fitting YouTuber videos, you know, they kind of slag off Specialized shoes a little bit for having forward bolt positioning, and I would say compared to the Physiques, that was not a thing with these shoes. So maybe the Physiques are actually kind of extreme with their forward bolt positioning, and that's said about Italian shoes generally. So, you know, that was definitely a thing. You know, in my opinion, how I just set up these cleats on this shoe, they were kind of a little far forward. So, speaking of these Physique shoes, maybe you can see it clearly. I lost one of the mounting bolts to these cleats, finally. I think the internal of that mounting bolt is stripped. Oh, look at the cat here. You see that in all of my videos, don't you? And yeah, it just fell out when I was like riding around on Bedford Avenue actually, and fell out of my shoe and made a loud sound, and everyone looked at me. It's kind of embarrassing. So, you know, I'm gonna observe extreme precaution when doing when torquing these bolts in the future, and going by, you know, the shoe manufacturer's torque spec as opposed to Shimano's or whoever your cleat manufacturer is, you know, might help alleviate that in the future. Yeah, just putting these on my feet to gauge where the cleats were going to be, they felt so much nicer and like more snug on my feet, so I'm excited to, you know, throw these on and try them out on the bike. Alright guys, so the shoes are on, they're tightened up. This is my bike, and I'm not in full kit because I'm just going to work, but maybe I'll hit a climb over a bridge on my way there and test these boys out the proper way. See ya. Alright guys, here we are. We are on the Kosciuszko Bridge. This bridge crosses Newtown Creek to connect Williamsburg, Greenpoint, Brooklyn area with Long Island City, Queens area over there. Catch my breath. So I just hit this bridge front to back, as I like to do sometimes before work. It's relatively close by my job, so that's why I come out here. Yeah. I just hit this in my big ring to like kind of do some torque work and test out how these shoes fit on me. And I have to say, they performed a lot better than the Physique shoes do. Like I suspected, they fit tighter on my feet. One thing, the tongue kind of bunches up a little bit. I like to think these fit me perfectly, and now that I've ridden them, I see they do. These cleats, I'm not a fan of. So they're the yellow cleats, which I guess offers more degrees of float. I think 6 degrees, in line with Shimano standard, and they're certainly comfortable when I'm spinning. But for when I'm out of the saddle or like sprinting, I kind of feel my feet sliding around a little more than I'd prefer. So, you know, that's a thing. Well, I'm gonna stand around and enjoy this view for a second. And I'll catch up with you guys back at home after work. Alright guys, so we're back in Ridgewood. I had kind of an awesome long day biking around and working, and it was nice to finally get a chance to ride around with these shoes. So I guess for the review here, the upshot, I really like these shoes. You know, it didn't take long for me to see that, you know, they fit me a lot better than these Physique shoes did. And these are still good shoes, and I'm definitely gonna, you know, ride around with these mostly. You know, I've already kind of scummied these white shoes up, and that's gonna happen. So, you know, I'll save these for the nicer rides, the more leisurely kind of, you know, rides. And these more for the commuting because, you know, they're not too bad, but these feel a lot nicer on the feet. They feel a little more secure, you know, with the bow dials tightened up. They feel more snug. I don't feel my feet shifting around in them quite as much. They're easier on the feet too. You know, I ride around for a little bit with these, and I take them off sometimes, and the bottom of my feet hurts sometimes, you know, particularly around the ball. That, you know, I took these off after kind of hauling ass with them, and, you know, I didn't really have much foot pain. You know, the insole in these Specialized shoes, this body geometry insole, might have had a lot to do with that. You know, you can feel your feet compress into them a little bit, and I don't know if they'll mold to my feet over time or whatnot, but, you know, I'm sure that aided a lot. The heel cup, I gotta admit, when I first put these on, the heel cup felt a little weird, but, you know, riding around in them for a while, you know, I didn't notice at all, and it felt pretty snug. You know, as far as the fit goes, the length was pretty much spot on, you know. You want your heel to sit snugly in the back of this heel cup, and you want your toes to have enough room up front. You know, you certainly don't want your foot to shift back and forth like this in the shoe either, and my feet did not do that. You know, speaking of the toe, you know, my toes kind of feel cramped in these shoes sometimes. In the toe box in these shoes is a little more spacious. I think, I mentioned before, like, the tongue kind of bunches up a little bit in these shoes right there, you know. Especially, you know, now that I have the Velcro straps kind of tightened down a little bit to fit my feet. You know, I don't know. It's kind of just a visual thing. I didn't really feel anything inside the shoe too much. The stiffness was kind of hard for me to gauge. You know, I think the cleats, the cleats I cannot stand, by the way. You know, I don't think I ever want to run these yellow 6 degree float cleats again. You know, I have the 3 degrees, I guess, the blue cleats on these, and I'll definitely, you know, swap these out for some blue cleats. You know, I wouldn't take them off this shoe because I got this cleat position dialed in very well on this shoe, and these are starting to get a little worn, and I don't want to screw around with that too much. And you know, definitely need to dial the cleat position on these in a little bit. But the stiffness of the shoe, I don't know if I can comment on whether these were stiffer or not as stiff yet, you know, until I have the same cleat setup going on, because, you know, my feet were sliding around on my pedals so much with these cleats. You know, I might as well have gone back to the toe clips and the Vans. You know, it's weird, you know, you know, I can't imagine any pros running that, or anyone wanting to run these unless you have an injury or something. And I did say in the video, you know, when you spin, you know, you're at a high cadence tempo, you know, they're pretty comfortable. But, you know, when you stand up and, you know, really put watts down, you know, you can feel the wasted energy and just your foot sliding around on the pedal. So what does that really have to do with the shoes? Nothing really. Just my preference. Yeah, they felt plenty stiff enough. You know, I will say there was kind of a spring to them. I don't know if that's because they're more stiff or less stiff. But it felt nice, you know. I never felt like I was losing power with these aside from the cleats. And yeah, you know, I did one ride on them, and I did, you know, kind of scummy them a little bit, you know, but, you know, that should wash out pretty easily. And, you know, that's what I was afraid of with these white shoes, is getting them too dirty. And I did one ride with them. You know, maybe they'll age well and get a patina or whatnot. But, you know, these are definitely easier to keep clean, and that's why, aside from the cleat positioning being zeroed in, why they will continue to be my daily commuter. I guess I walked around a little bit with these on, and it's a silly thing to review about a road bike shoe, but, you know, they kind of felt easier to walk in even, and I don't know, maybe the cleat positioning has something to do with that. Yeah, the inside the packaging, like the body geometry thing where they mention your foot being like this a little bit, I didn't really feel any noticeable difference with that, so whatever. You know, maybe a more long-term review would be necessary in the future, especially after I get those blue Shimano cleats that I really want and are just impossible to find around here for some reason. So yeah, all in all, I would definitely recommend these shoes. I mean, you know, shoes are very subjective. You know, everyone's feet are shaped differently, and this shoe works really well for me, and this other shoe is all right, and maybe this shoe will fit your foot better. You know, it's hard to say with road bike shoes. It's like, aside from fit, what can you quantify? And I guess that's why stiffness is such a big topic with road shoes, and, you know, cleat bolt positioning. You know, these are things that are quantifiable. You know, the vent there, you know, probably is going to help me a lot in the dead of summer. You know, the BOA dial, you know, doesn't go backwards. You know, that's a pro for the physique. So, quantifiably, they feel stiff enough. They look cool. The cleat bolt positioning is maybe a little more ergonomic. You can slam those cleats back farther on the shoe than with the physiques. The insoles are very comfortable. And they look really, really rad. I think I said that before. So, that's a high recommendation from the Kitchen Bike Mechanic. Yeah. Check these shoes out. Go into a local bike shop and try them on. Get the size that fits you. And if you don't, you know, all of this kind of goes out the window. So, alright guys, thanks for watching my video. I'm sure I'll have some more awesome product reviews for you in the future. Hopefully I can get my hands on a pair of Vestwork shoes in the future. That's a pipe dream, maybe. Well, reporting from Ridgewood, New York, at my desk. Enjoy your evening, folks.